Hello, hello, hello! I am degenerate. You can call me Disturbed, and today we're going to be playing something fun, as always. We're going to be playing in Modern for a respectable price on Magic Online, only 44 ticks, but $500 in paper. This deck is not really meant to be played on a budget in paper, or really at all in paper, because it is a little bit a pile of jank. But it is a fun pile of jank, and that's what's important. A lot of the cost comes from the fetch lands. Fetch lands are a lot cheaper on Magic Online. You can see Marsh Flats comes out to 9 ticks for a playset, while it comes out to $151, $152 for a playset in paper. But there are other things that just happen to cost a lot more in paper in the deck than they do on Magic Online. So this is really just a Magic Online budget deck. But that's alright, because that's all I'm really trying to do here, which makes this a lot more fun for me, because I get to play with fetch lands and I get to play with some fun cards. So let's get to the deck breakdown. Okay, so here we are with what looks like a pile of jank, because it is. As you can see here, our main plan is going to be Training Grounds and Biomancer's Familiar. If you are not familiar with these two cards, each one say that activated abilities of creatures, specifically with Biomancer's Familiar and just everything, or no, creatures with Training Grounds as well. So activated abilities of creatures you control cost 2 generic mana less to activate, which means that we can activate things that would otherwise be way too expensive to really use in a game of Magic for almost nothing. For example, we have Dimir Guildmage, which has 2 abilities, both of which would cost 4 mana to activate normally, but with either one of these out, they cost 2. And 2 mana draw a card / 2 mana your opponent discards a card are both pretty reasonable effects that I would play on a creature repeatably. Grizzly Salvage allows us to put creatures in our graveyard, but also find creatures or lands, which is nice. Abrupt Decay is removal. Duskwatch Recruiter happens to also have a pretty good activated ability. If it costs 2 generic less, it says 1 mana, look at the top 3, put a creature into your hand, and that is just way too good to pass up. It is a great ability for that cost. Pack Rat, similarly, says 2 generic and a black, discard a card, create a copy of Pack Rat. All Pack Rats have power and toughness equal to the amount of rats you control. But with Training Ground / Biomancer's Familiar, that really just says black mana, discard a card, cast another Pack Rat, which is just absolutely wonderful. It makes Pack Rat super easy to use, and since it's already a good card, it makes it just way better. We have Opts and Fatal Pushes in our 1-drop slots for obvious reasons. We have Ronos the Indomitable, a 5/5 Death Touch indestructible that can't attack or block unless we have a creature with power 4 or greater. And then it says, for us, 1 green, another target creature gets +2/+0 and trample until end of turn, which means that as long as we have Training Grounds or Biomancer's Familiar out, we can pretty much always have Ronos as a creature, because it'll just cost us 1 green to make one of our otherwise small creatures big enough to turn Ronos on. Here we have Vidalcan Anatomist, also in the 3-drop slot. He is almost always never going to be normally cast, but if he is, that'll be great. The real purpose behind him is for Havengul Lich, but let's break down his ability just because. His ability is 2 and a blue, or just blue for us, hopefully. Put a -1 counter on target creature. You may tap or untap that creature. So the general idea behind this is to shrink our opponent's big stuff and keep them from attacking us, which is important considering that we are not going to be very good against aggro. So Vidalcan Anatomist allows us to be a little bit better against aggro. The reason he works really well with Havengul Lich, though, is because Havengul Lich says 1 generic mana, or for us, nothing. You may cast target creature card in a graveyard this turn. When you cast that card this turn, Havengul Lich gains all activated abilities until end of turn, which allows us to use our Havengul Lich as a another Vidalcan Anatomist / another all of our creatures. And it allows us to recur creatures that have gone to the graveyard through the course of the game. And then in our highest drop slot is Tasker, though usually we'll be casting Tasker for 1 or even 2 mana. He says 2 Simic, or otherwise known as for us just Simic. Mill 2, your opponent puts one of the non-land cards from your graveyard into your hand, which is not really super valuable for us, because it's most likely that our opponent will not give us something that we actually want, but we have enough good cards in our deck that him putting anything into our hand is going to be good. So that's the idea for the main deck. As for the sideboard, we really just have a bunch of things that hit different things our opponent is trying to do. We've got Damping Sphere for Tron and other such things, Storm. Nature's Claim to hit artifact-based matchups. Drown in the Lock because it's a great card. Mystical Dispute versus blue. Disallow versus everything. Cry of the Cardarium because board wipes are necessary in any format. Even though this might not be the best board wipe, but it is a board wipe and I will be happy to play it. Anyway, so that is the deck. Now it is time to move on to the gameplay, see what we can find. It's set up here. There we go, Modern Tournament of Practice. Let's go ahead and get right into a game. I'm excited to see how this goes. I think this might actually be a pretty good deck. Anyway, good luck to my opponent, Penteus. But I think this deck might actually be pretty decent. 6 fetch lands. I mean, that's practically breaking the budget here. But we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty excited about this. Let's see. So we've got a Polluted Delta Opt, Woodland Cemetery. We can Polluted Delta into a Watery Grave so that we can opt on turn 1, and I like that. We will keep this. We've got a Dimir Guild Mage as well that we can cast off this Woodland Cemetery. We don't have any of our pieces that reduce activated abilities, but hopefully this opt will allow us to get a little deeper into our library to help find that. Our opponent leads on a tapped Sacred Foundry and passes to us. We draw an Overgrown Tomb. We will play the Polluted Delta and pass to our opponent's end step. Yield until next end step. There we go. Because we're just going to fetch and grab a Polluted Delta here. We've got a lot of black, so yeah, we just need a Polluted Delta. We've got an Overgrown Tomb and all that. Not a Polluted Delta, I mean a Watery Grave. Same colors, you know what I mean. Opponent plays a Wooded Foothills. I'm going to grab a Water Grave here. Untapped, yep. Play an opt. But I think we put the opt to the bottom and draw a Pack Rat. Okay. Well, that's actually a pretty decent card to play here. Considering that we can play it now and then on turn 3 start pitching things to it. Ooh, that's a Biomancer's Familiar, though, and I like Biomancer's Familiar. So we're going to play that instead. It might get counted here, but I like it. So, you know, it won't get counted unless our opponent's on Jeskai, but it will probably get destroyed. So we'll pass the turn here. Next turn we get to Pack Rat, then activate Pack Rat, which is just a very decent line here. So our opponent plays this. Oh, okay. Yep, they Lightning Helix immediately. That's fine. So they crack their Wooded Foothills for a Sacred Foundry untapped and Lightning Helix us. And played their 3rd Sacred Foundry now. Wow, untapped. Opponent assembled Sacred Foundry Tron and they're pillaging us. That's just rude. You don't see us pillaging you, opponent. Well, that cuts us off of blue mana for a while, most likely. Hopefully they might be playing some kind of Boros land destruction deck, which would be unfortunate for us because we do not have a decent way to deal with that outside of losing. Outside of losing, we don't really have a good way to deal with land destruction. But, you know, whatever. Whatever it takes, man. That's a Molten Rain. Yep. Good on you, opponent. Good on you. Good fair magic going on over there. I see it. Well, we can't activate Pack Rat now, so we might as well shock in this Overgrown Tomb to get out a Tasigur while we can. This. We're going to keep Biomancer's Familiar in the graveyard in case we ever get up this Havengal Lich. And we'll get in for one with our Pack Rat. They're probably also running Blood Moon if they're running other land destruction spells, which is unfortunate for us because we're running a pretty greedy mana base, 3 colors in all. They're gonna pillage our Overgrown Tomb. Okay. Well, at least we have a clock now, kind of. Drowned Catacombs. Okay, we'll play that tapped because there's nothing else we can really do. Get in for 5, putting our opponent down to 12, and pass the turn. They play an Inspiring Vantage tapped, and it looks like they're going to pass. Wow. Unexpected there. Must have some kind of instant speed interaction. I expect a path. Opt, that's a nice card to see, but we will hold off on playing it for a minute. We'll play this Forest and move to combat. I'm going to attack without activating Pack Rat in case they try to destroy Pack Rat here. I can make a copy of it. They take their beats, go down to 7. We'll just pass the turn, leaving up into instant speed interaction / the Pack Rat activation. They untap at 7 life, but with plenty of cards in hand. Alrighty then. So they're tapping out 4 mana for Nahiri. Okay. That's unfortunate for us. We'll wait till they target something. They're most likely going to target the Tasigur, but let's see. Yep, targeting the Tasigur, exiling it. Let's yield until next end step. We're going to activate the Pack Rat here. Yep. Discarding Dimir Guild Gauge, making Guild Mage, making another Pack Rat. Well, now we can kill Nahiri, put them down to 5, or we can make another Pack Rat, get in, put them down to 1, leave the Nahiri, have 3 Pack Rats. That would force them to have a board wipe or we win, but it does give them the potential to blow us out. I think we kind of just have to pressure him. I don't undo that. I don't know that we can afford to not pressure them here. So activate Pack Rat, discarding an Opt. Attack with all creatures at them, putting him down to 1. And pass the turn. We've got way over lethal on board, opponent. What can you do? If you can board wipe us, I mean GG's, but let's see. Alright, so they loot with Nahiri. That doesn't look like a board wipe, but it might end up being a board wipe. Discarding a Crack the Earth. That doesn't stop us, which makes sense why they would discard it. Ghostly Prison, okay. So they're planning on taxing us and then probably killing whatever we pay for. So we need a land here. Land, please. Ronas, you are not a land. I love you, Ronas, but you are not a land. Okay, so we're going to have to attack in and pay for the tax. Yep. And they'll kill Pack Rat. Yep, lightning bolt it. Nothing we can do about that. And pass turn. With our sad Pack Rats that can't attack. Ghostly Prison is a good hit for them. If they can ultimate this Nahiri, we just lose, so... They discard a Boom Bust, it looks like, yep. And they play Molten Rain on our Drowned Catacombs. Alright, I'll float a black. Yep, and they pass without playing anything, which I expect, but, you know. You should always allow for the Fatal Push. So we don't really have anything to do other than attack with a Pack Rat and wait for it to get killed. Pay for the tax. Yep. And opponent. Kill the Pack Rat. Lightning Bolt. Yep. That kills the Pack Rat. Okay, well, the opponent needs to find one more answer. They've got 2 cards in hand and a loot, so they get to... But they're at 1 life, so they discard the Emrakul. Discard an Emrakul, okay. 2 cards in hand. And what do you got, opponent? A creature kills us at this point because they can chump block the Pack Rat. Another Nahiri. That seems weird. I don't know why you would do that, opponent. Oh, because they haven't found an answer. Oh, they only had a Mana Tide left. And Darkstone. Oh, no way. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. Okay, we did it. we did it. Oh, okay. So our opponent is playing Boros. What just happened? We didn't submit. Did I accident? What? What just happened? Oh no. I did not mean to submit. If I submitted, I must have submitted, but I didn't mean to. Oh no. Okay. Well, we know we need to have a land heavy hand, and 2 lands that don't even let us cast everything we have is not going to work for us. We'll keep this though. Put a card on the bottom. I think we put Dimir Guild Mage on the bottom. There we go. Done. I think we're on the Pack Rat plan. I think that's all we got here. They play an Inspiring Vantage untapped, and winning game 1 is huge for us because that lets us be on the play for game 3 if we lose here. So that's just big whoops, big positive energy for us. I'm very happy about that. Pressuring the opponent looks like it was the right choice there. They needed 1 more turn in order to get their Emrakul out with Nahiri. And they needed 1 more answer to kill our Pack Rat. Oh. So that's the power of Pack Rat, even without a cost reducer. It just functions so well on its own. So our opponent is really thinking about what they want to do here, or they've disconnected or something. They still have more time on the clock than we do, so it's not like I really care, but they're really thinking about their Inspiring Advantage. Oh, I'm really suffering from a headache. I'm recording this right after I recorded the video that should come out earlier this week, the mono red devotion deck that we surprisingly went 3-2 with in Pioneer. But talking for 3 hours straight is gives me a little bit of a headache. Well, our hand looks pretty decent. We've got 3 lands, one of which is a fetch. We can opt into a pack rat. Hopefully we can at least stay on 2 mana so that we can get down 2 pack rats without too much issue, but if we can stick a pack rat and find a cost reducer, then we'll be sitting pretty, because we can just churn out pack rats even with only 1 land, as long as we can keep black mana. Our opponent is just sitting here. Well, I'll probably end up having to cut this out of the video. I don't like to cut sections out of the video, but you know, if we end up sitting here for 18 minutes until they time out, I think you don't want to watch that. But in case they come back in a minute, I'm going to keep talking just for safety's sake. I like our opponent's avatar. What is our opponent's avatar? Zodiac Dragon. Is that a card? Can I look up Zodiac Dragon? Zodiac. That's a C. Dragon. There's our opponent. I want to see the card. I want to see if that's a card, though. It is from Portal. From like the first ever set of Magic the Gathering. Alright, so they pass through to our turn. We're going to lead on a polluted delta. Talking. Game? Am I lagged? Oh. Their timer went back up, which means that I'm lagged. So, in case I cut that out earlier, this is Zodiac Dragon. It's a dumb card. It's an old Portal card, but it's very expensive for some reason. And it looks nothing like the art up here. I want that icon though. Let's look at what Zodiac Dragon what the icon costs. Let's see, card hoarder. Let's see. Can I search? Avatar Zodiac Dragon. 2 ticks. 0.02 ticks. I mean, there we go, and we're back. Yield until next end step. Our opponent plays a Sacred Foundry, and we're back for real this time. Whew, okay, they play the Sacred Foundry tapped. We're gonna Polluted Delta, crack it, grab a island in case they have a Blood Moon. Vidalcan Anatomist to the bottom. And we draw a Dimir Guild Mage. Upkeep, draw. Looks like we're waiting on our opponent, but we might be lagged again. Alright, so we draw a pack rat. Wow, we have all the pack rats in the world. I'm going to lead on Watergrave, untapped. Play a pack rat. And they Mana Tithe, okay. Yep, we can't play pay for the Mana Tithe. So they are just playing the exact Boros deck that I think Saffron Olive was playing before? Or was it Marin Moon? Somebody was playing this exact deck I saw. Didn't watch the video, I just watched the deck. And I don't know what the record was, but if somebody's copying it, I imagine the record was pretty good. They play another Inspiring Vantage, and they're actually going to pass without blowing up land. That's wonderful for us. On a upkeep, our opponent's thinking. We draw a swamp. Awesome, but we're not going to show them that we have that. Play the Hinterland Harbor. And black, blue, pack rat. Opponent. We can pay for a mana tithe, opponent. So, what do you got? What do you got, opponent? Awesome. Okay, so we will yield through this turn, and we'll cast Opt on their instep. Okay. They lightning bolt our pack rat, which is really sad. I do like my pack rat. They play a Darksteel Citadel for their boom bust. Is that what this is? Nope, that's a Nahiri. That's unfortunate. Nahiri on curve when we're stuck with nothing on board is unfortunate for us. Well, we get to opt, at least. Put that on the bottom. We don't need that. Duskwatch Recruiter. That's not great. And we untap and draw Vidalcan Anatomist. Alright. Well, we will play pack rat. Play a swamp. Play a Dimir Guild Mage. And pass the turn back to our opponent. We need to keep this Nahiri from ultimating. If they can get out an Emrakul, we are just super dead. They haven't blown up a single one of our lands, which is weird. There might be a reason for that that I don't know about, but they haven't hit any land destruction. They lightning bolt our pack rat. Okay. It's pack rat number 3, and that looks like pillage mana. Molten Rain, same thing. We take 2. Yep. And they pass the turn. Well, we get to keep Nahiri from ultimating, which is huge. Drowned Catacombs, we like that. We don't have green mana for this Duskwatch Recruiter, but we can get out of Vidalcan Anatomist. And punch the Nahiri. Keep it from ultimating. I think next turn, if nothing significant changes, we'll start either drawing cards or making them discard cards off of our Guild Mage here. Because we're kind of getting stabilized now. Alright, they're going to exile our Guild Mage, go down to 4 loyalty on the Nahiri. I kind of just assumed they'd tick it up. But nope. And they lightning bolt our Vidalcan Anatomist. Which is unfortunate for us, but they're down to 1 card in hand, and we draw. Let's see. Is it something we can cast? Opponent's stuck on our upkeep. Biomancer's Familiar. We cannot cast that. So we just pass through, because there's nothing we can do. Alright, they get to loot with Nahiri. I know I technically should be representing a counterspell here, but I'm not going to. Karn Scion of Urza makes a 2/2. A construct. Watery Grave. Alright, I think we concede here. Yeah. Let's pass through one more time. I'm pretty sure we're just dead, though. There's nothing we can do anymore. We have no outs. They make another construct. Take up the Nahiri. Yep, they get an Emrakul next turn, and they've got 6 power on board already. Get in for 3. I'm going through my deck list in my head, and I don't think there's anything we can draw here. And a green mana definitely is not it. Okay, concede. Let's go back to sideboarding and actually sideboard this time. Drown in the Lock is nice. Disallow is nice. Nothing else really screams interest to me. Fatal Push is pretty useless because we haven't seen a single thing we can Fatal Push. Having Goal Lich just seems unlikely, is what that comes down to. And we'll submit it like that. If we are able to resolve a Having Goal Lich, I would be rather surprised. I would love to play first, though, coming into our final game. Turn 1 Training Grounds. That I love. Absolutely love. Yes, we will keep this. I would like another land. Hopefully we can find that. Turn 1 Training Grounds into... We can cast anything else in our hand, actually. So I'm feeling Duskwatch Recruiter. But the only having 1 green source and not having a whole lot of green sources in the deck concerns me in this matchup. Yes, I will pay 2 life. Life total actually isn't super relevant in this matchup. And play the Training Grounds and pass. So our opponent, they play a Sacred Foundry tapped and pass back. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. They're stuck on our upkeep again. I don't know who's... Their timer's going down, but that might just be because I'm lagged. I don't know. Alright, so we get to Woodland Cemetery. I think we Dimir Guildmage here and force them to start discarding next turn. If we draw a land, then we can Biomancer's Familiar and make them discard next turn. Yeah, that seems really sweet. That seems really sweet, so let's do that. And pass turn. See what they got up their sleeve. I imagine a removal spell. Seems like that's what our opponent's deck is just absolutely full of. Lightning Helixes and bolts. Various forms of lightning, really. Inspiring Vantage untapped for our opponent. And they just pass it straight back to us. That's a land! That's great. That's awesome for us. Okay, so green and blue, Biomancer's Familiar. And then we get to make you discard a card. They discard an Arid Mesa, and we're going to get in for 2. We need to start draining our opponent's resources, because their deck is definitely more of a quantity over quality deck. They're trying to blow up as many lands as ours as they can to get as big of a tempo swing as they can. They play another Inspiring Vantage untapped, and Lightning Helix is our Guildmage. Alright. But that leaves us our Biomancer's Familiar, which is nice. And they're going to pass it back. And they didn't blow up any lands. Nice. I'm not upset about this. Okay. So we untapped. I'd like a green mana please deck. Or a fetch land. Oh, actually, I'll take that. I will happily take that. So we're going to play that now. I don't know why I didn't tap the swamp, but, you know, whatever. Another Dimir Guildmage. And we get to activate that now. Make you discard again, opponent. Discards a mountain. And we're going to get in with our Biomancer's Familiar. They condemn it. Alright. They give it a nice scolding. I get that, you know. it's been bad. They play a Darksteel Citadel and tap it immediately for colorless. And Molten Rain, our Watery Grave. Okay. We go back down to 18. And we are cut off of blue mana. Ooh, but that's another Training Grounds. We can make them discard a card. We can still afford to do that with just 2 mana. They discard an Emrakul, shuffle their graveyard back in, but they're down to only 1 card in hand. And we're going to get in for 2. Bringing them down to 19. Forcing them to discard each turn is proving pretty good, I think. But they get to Molten Rain once again. I think that was pulled right off the top, too. So that's unfortunate. We need to draw some lands here. And we untap and draw a Ronos. Okay. Well, our opponent has officially locked us under our lack of lands, but we get to get in for 2. Bring them down to 17 and pass turn back. Ugh. They're going to pillage our last land. Oh, that just hurts. And pass it back to us. Yep. Well, we get more things we can't cast instead of lands. And we get in for 2. Bring them down to 15. Pass turn back. And they rest in peace. Alright, that doesn't really do a whole lot against us. Turns off our Havengul Liches and our whatever it's called. Taskers. But we only have 2 Taskers and 1 Havengul Lich left, so it's not like we were relying on our graveyard for much. They cast a Nahiri. Okay. And they exile a Dimir Guildmage. Yep. So we draw a land. Marsh Flats. Okay, we won't crack that. Pass through the turn. We need 1 more land, and then we can start casting things again. They get to take up the Nahiri. Exiling the Emrakul. That's an interesting choice. We untap, and we're just going to keep this as a Marsh Flats until we draw another land, because they can't blow it up if it's a Marsh Flats. We will discard a Duskwatch Recruiter that we can't cast into exile. And they loot once again, discarding an Inspiring Vantage. They just need a Karn, really. Ghostly Prison is a problem. Yeah, that's a thing. And they pass. We untap and draw and opt. Well, we will opt on their end step. And we will discard another Duskwatch Recruiter. I'm just going to yield until they're no, because if they target something, I need to make sure I can crack Marsh Flats. Discarding a Mana Tithe. Plays a Darksteel Citadel. And they pass the turn. Alright, we'll crack this Marsh Flats. Grabbing a Watery Grave. Untapped. And opt. Grizzly Salvage to the bottom. Drown in the Lock. That's not super helpful. Abrupt Decay. That's still not super helpful. Well, we can at least get out another Training Grounds so that we don't have to discard and all of our activated abilities are now free. And pass. See, the problem with our activated abilities is that if we can't cast the creature that they're attached to, then that's a problem. Most of our creatures are 2-drops too, so it's just really hurts that we can't cast anything. Alright, they get to loot. I imagine they find a removal spell here. Or a land removal spell anyway. No, they don't. They pass. Okay, cool. And we draw a pack rat. Yep, that's fine. Alright, so we'll discard a Ronos that we can't cast. If they blow up our watery grave, I think we just concede. It's pretty clear that they only had the one Emrakul because they would have ultimated Nahiri otherwise. So Karn is really... Yep. Yeah, we concede now. Right? Let's keep playing. That's a land. We play it. I mean, what else do we have? We just have to keep playing until our opponent finds a win condition, really. Because our opponent has no win conditions. Nahiri can't get them Emrakul, and Karn isn't out yet. They play a Sacred Foundry. Tapped. We pass turn. We're going to yield through as quickly as we can since our timer is so low. Discard Vidalcan Anatomist. And Karn Scion on Verza. Alright. That still doesn't kill us yet, though. And Havengul Lich, we will discard that. If we can find one more land, then I think we have a small chance of coming back, because we can just pack rat turn after turn and get bigger than his constructs. Yep, okay. That's conceding. That is the point where we concede. Okay. Well, that was game one. We lost it. Alrighty then. Hey, there's Marin. Awesome. So that's... I feel like we actually did rather well. We're just not well designed against land destruction decks. We're just not going to be able to do much. I would love to play first, please and thank you. Removal spell, Duskwatch, Grizzly Salvage. I think we have to mulligan this. There's nothing really of interest. Training Grounds, Duskwatch, Pack Rats. Yeah, we'll keep this. What do we put to the bottom? I think we put Marsh Flats to the bottom. It doesn't matter which one. We just need to put a fetch to the bottom, I'm pretty sure. So we'll lead on Polluted Delta, crack it, grab a Watery Grave. Untapped. I forgot to say good luck to my opponent, so good luck, Chuckles. 1248, and we will pass turn. And pass through their turn. They play a Valakut tapped. That's scary if I've ever seen it. Pack Rat. And we'll pass turn. Another black mana would make these pack rats rather nice. They play a snow-covered island. Alright, well, we will... I suppose we'll discard Dimir Guildmage, make another pack rat, move to combat, attack. Don't really know what the opponent is on, because I've never seen a Valakut deck lead on Valakut. It's just not a thing that I've seen happen. So we will pass through our opponent's turn. We've got nothing to hold up. They play a Temple Garden, untapped. They're playing 4-color Valakut somehow. They're going to Teferi bounce a pack rat. Well, we get to kill Teferi, so that's nice. I always love when I get to do that. We will activate pack rat if it'll let us, and discard an extra Training Grounds. Move to combat. Attack Teferi. Always nice to kill a Teferi. Nothing makes me happier than killing a Teferi. What's funny is I love Teferi as a card. I think it's a great card. I have a Stacks Commander deck that's built off that effect. The Teferi, you can't cast things at instant speed effect. But I just don't like it when other people have it, I think, is really my problem. So we're going to play another Pack Rat, see if they want to counter it. They've got a weird mana base going on. They've got 4 colors. I mean, it's interesting. We'll move to combat. Attack with all creatures. We might as well go all in. And ditch a Ronos. We'll keep the Duskwatch Recruiter because it will help us recover in the event of a board wipe. So we knock them down to 8 life. This is the power of Pack Rat, is that we fill the pack. We've got the pack. We're going in. They've got to answer at least 2 Pack Rats right now, or they die. Bring to light. Okay, so this has to be 5 color Niv to light. That's interesting. I'm cool with that. Do I want Duskwatch Recruiter? Yeah, I think Duskwatch Recruiter makes more sense here than Vidalcan Anatomist. And we'll pass turn. So they're missing black mana is what this is. It's interesting that they have Valakut though. I don't get the Valakut. Search for Tomorrow. Maybe they're playing 5 color maybe they're using Bring to Light to get their Titan. They're playing the green Titan. Alrighty then. Well, let's go ahead and activate Duskwatch Recruiter. Find another Duskwatch Recruiter. Any order, doesn't matter. And move to combat. Attack in for 2. And pass turn. Then we get to flip our Kallenhorde Howler. Make our other creatures easier to cast, hopefully. They might be able to flip it back, who knows. They've got a bunch of mana, so they probably can. That actually looks like a Niv. No, they don't have black mana, so I don't know what they're casting here. Maybe a Titan? You can't cast Titan off Bring to Light because Titan is 6 mana. So I don't know what they're playing. I don't know at all what they are playing. But they're tapping out for a Bring to Light X4. Grabbing. Scape Shift. Are they able to kill us with Valakut somehow here? We have to see. I don't know how many they need to kill us with Valakut, but... Or they might just be making a bunch of zombies. I don't think 7 is enough to kill us with Valakut, but I might be wrong. I don't remember how many Valakuts you need. They only have 1 Valakut, but they're getting, what, 15... Okay, no, that's lethal, yeah. I think that's lethal, yeah. Because it's 3 damage per, right? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yep. I mean, 3, 6, 9... let's just yield. I'm not going to... I can't do math. Okay, yeah, we're dead. Cool. Begin sideboarding. Our opponent is playing a lands deck, but they're not playing anything that Damping Sphere is able to stop. Well, Drown in the Locks and Disallows are nice. Mystical Dispute hits Bring to Light, which they've cast a lot of. Maybe we even don't play Disallow. Maybe Disallow is too slow. Well, they're not playing creatures, so Vidalcan Anatomist isn't super useful. Havengold Lich feels a little slow. And we'll cut a Guild Mage for the sake of it. We came real close. Those Pack Rats. One more turn with those Pack Rats. I would love to play first. Please and thank you. So our opponent does not look like they're playing 5 colors because they should have found a black source by then. Oh, this is risky to keep. I don't think we can. Mulligan. We'll keep this though. Put Fatal Push to the bottom. Because we saw no evidence that we need it. Play Polluted Delta, crack it, grab a Watery Grave. Or we could grab an Overgrown Tomb, but I think we want the Watery Grave. We can grab an Overgrown Tomb later if we need to. Hopefully hopefully we can not die to Valakuts this time. That would be great. Our opponent, Misty Rainforest, cracks for a Breeding Pool, untapped. And suspends a Search for Tomorrow. Alright, so we need to grab an Overgrown Tomb here. Cracks the Marsh Flat, grabs an Overgrown Tomb. We're down to 14 already, turn 2. Wish we were playing Death Shadow. We'd be doing great on turn 2 for Death Shadow. Pass turn. Well, now we can crack this Marsh Flats for a Swamp to activate Pack Rat and get out Grizzly Salvage. Or we can hold up Drown in the Lock. They're not at 4 mana yet. No, they will be at 4 mana next turn, but Bring to Light is 5. Secure Tribe Elder gets them up to 5. So we should hold up Drown in the Lock. In which case, our best bet is going to be to play the Marsh Flats. Crack it. Grab a Swampity Swamp. Swampity Swamp. Activate Pack Rat. Discarding an island. Move to combat. And get in with the attack with the Pack Rat. They'll fizzle it with the Secure Tribe Elder, but this at least makes some block. Yep. So they go fetch a land. Snow-covered plains, tapped. Excuse me. They cast Search for Tomorrow, off suspend. Get another card in the graveyard for Drown in the Lock. We still can't counter a Bring to Light though, so that's a problem. Hopefully they can't cast one right now, because if they could, we'd be in big trouble. Titan of Nature's Wrath. Huh, that's unfortunate. I guess we let that go. There's not anything we can do about it. It gets sacked. They gain some life, draw a card, but they don't find a land. Awesome. Man, that's lucky for us. Okay, so we get to Grizzly Salvage now. Creature or land card from the top 5. Pack Rat, Biomancer is familiar. I think we could take Pack Rat here. Untap. We will sack off this Opt. Make another Pack Rat. Get in for 6. Not going to cast this Pack Rat because we need to hold up Drown in the Lock. Now that we can actually counter a spell that they cast to Bring to Light. Get in for 6, bring them down to 13. Next turn we should have lethal. For a 12, so we won't quite have lethal. Unless we hardcast this Pack Rat and they don't board wipe. Bring to Light's a sorcery, so and without Teferi they can't Bring to Light at instant speed. But it does look like they're holding up something. They don't have double white for Settle. It feels like they're holding up something. I don't know what they're holding up, though. So we're just going to go to combat like this. Yep, they're casting something. Ice Fang Coatl. Do I counter that? I think I do. I'm just as surprised as you are, chat. Yep, counter target spell. I think I counter that. And then I'm going to activate Pack Rat. I'm going to go all in. Make another copy. Bring them down to 1 with the Pack Rats. Because that really hurts them. They're pretty close to dead at this point. Yep, okay, they just scoop it up. Awesome. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We'll submit it back just like we have it. Yeah, okay. Whew, that was close. We got lucky, honestly, that they ran out of lands. Because their deck with a lot of lands is a lot scarier than what we saw there. With them missing a bunch of land drops, we're pretty happy. They missed like 3 land drops in a row. So I'm quite happy with how that turned out for us. Okay, so a tap land and only 1. So yeah, we're mulliganing that. We'll keep this. We'll throw away a land. Hold on to Fatal Push because now we know it's important. What land do we throw away? We've got, so let's see, blue, black, green. I think we grab black, green as well. Water Grave. We don't need Polluted Delta. I suppose we should keep Polluted Delta in case we grab a basic, but yeah, whatever. F6 through our opponent's turn. They play a Valakut tapped. We draw a Forest. Well, we will Marsh Flats, untapped pass. We'll crack it on our opponent's instep if we don't need to Fatal Push anything. Just yield until next instep, because nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Alright, so we've got 2 green. We're gonna get another black, so we need 2 blue. So we'll get Water Grave tapped. Untap. Woodland Cemetery. Pack Rat. Without a Training Grounds, Pack Rat's a lot less scary though, so we're just hoping for a way to make this easier. Way to make this Pack Rat cheaper. They play a snow-covered island. They're stuck on 2 colors, which is good for us. And they pass, which is great for us. We're actually just going to start discarding some of these lands to the Pack Rat. Let's discard an island, because we've got double blue. And move to combat. Attack with Pack Rat. Our ideal draw would be a Training Grounds next turn, because then we can Training Grounds, make 3 Pack Rats, attack in for 10 with 2 Pack Rats, 2 5/5s. That would be our ideal draw, but I don't really expect that, and I don't know that I want to play that much into a board wipe. But them being stuck on 2 colors is good for us. They play another Valakut tapped, which is great for us. Alright. So we will play a Marsh Flats. Uncracked. Activate a Pack Rat, discarding, I guess, the Swamp. Make another Pack Rat, move to combat, attack in for 6. They go down to 12. So we have lethal next turn if they can't produce something. And we have a Fatal Push as backup. So that's nice. And they just scoop it up. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, our opponent's mana base really helped us out there. But I'm still happy with that. That felt nice. Pack Rat is just a strong card. I mean, really is what that comes down to. That's true 100% of the time. Or at least 80% of the time. Pack Rat is just... There's a reason it sees play in various control decks, various Dimir control decks throughout history. Hasn't seen play in a little while, but if it's going to see play anywhere, this is the shell for it. With 6 copies of Training Grounds, we're going to activate Pack Rat for 1 mana most of the time. And even when we don't, you can see in that last game where it's not backbreaking to spend 3 for an extra Pack Rat. And it's resilient to targeted removal. It's just a good card. It's a good card. Turns our lands into actual action. Well, we're sitting here waiting for an opponent. I want to see... Actually, oh, we've got an opponent now. Good luck to our opponent. I'm just looking through. Anyway, good luck to our opponent, Maldrick. Alrighty then. So we have 2 lands, Pack Rat, Recruiter, Grizzly Salvage, Dimir Guildmage. I guess we keep this. We're a little 2-drop heavy without a Training Grounds, but I mean, we'll keep it. We don't really have any way to draw Training Grounds either. We have a way to draw Biomancer's Familiar with Grizzly Salvage, hopefully, but we're only running 2 of those, and we're running 4 Training Grounds, so we're almost more likely to just mill Training Grounds without hitting a Biomancer's Familiar. But a look at 5 cards is always a look at 5 cards, so there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. And hopefully we draw some more lands as well, so that we can eventually get to casting 2 spells in a turn, or activating Pack Rat. We'll pass the turn to our opponent, leading on a tapped Overgrown Tomb. They play a Snow-Covered Island, play an Astrolabe. Alright, we draw a Forest. We're happy about that. Let's go ahead and play a Pack Rat. And pass turn. Pass turn again. Pass through their turn. They Fatal Push off their Astrolabe. They missed their land drop, though. Oh. And they're clearly playing more than 1 color, so I think I have to Abrupt Decay this Arkham's Astrolabe. Try and punish them for missing their land drop. Keep them off colored. Off non-blue, anyway. Ah, no, they drew it. Okay. I tried. I tried. Alright, so let's lead on this Duskwatch Recruiter. See what they want to do here. They can counter it if they have a counter spell. Unless it's a censor, but yeah, so they drown in the lock. Yep, that's kind of what I expected. We will play another Duskwatch Recruiter. And pass turn. Duskwatch Recruiter is pretty good in control matchups, which this seems to be, because it flips when our opponent passes. They play a Breeding Pool untapped, though, which indicates that they're probably going to try and cast something. Snapcastering the Fatal Push, alright. You go, opponent. Really don't like the Duskwatch Recruiters, I get it. And they pass back to us. Hinterland Harbor. So, let's see. Let's lead on Grizzly Salvage, see what we can find. We do end up milling a Training Grounds, which is sad. Ronos is interesting. It's 3 mana to activate it. So we can play Ronos this turn, play Dimir Guildmage next turn, and activate Ronos to attack with it. Or we can Pack Rat, but we don't have a lot of black mana. We have 1 black mana. So I think we Ronos here. I think that's our safest bet. And just F6. Through the various turns. They play a Watergrave untapped. And they get in for 2. I accidentally passed through my first main phase. That's fine, I wasn't actually intending to attack this turn, but would have been nice to have the option. Misclicks for the win. Play a Dimir Guildmage. I would hold up blue to feint a counterspell, but I have 0 cards in hand, and my opponent can see that, so there's no point. They cryptic command, counter draw. Alright. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. We couldn't have attacked. Also wasn't going to, but, you know. They get in for another 2 that we cannot block with our not able to block attacker block Ronos. And they pass back. We draw a pack rat. Let's try to play it. I imagine it gets countered. They're thinking about it. That looks like a counterspell. Another cryptic. Okay. Yep, that happens. What's our record? 1-1. Okay, I already forgot what our record was. I was just thinking that this Sultai control deck is going to lower our record. Alright, so we'll hold on to this Polluted Delta to feign a counterspell in the future, even though we don't have any main deck. Excuse me. They play an Ice Fang Quaddle and a Growth Spiral. Missing a land drop. And get in for 3. We can't block. Play another Astrolabe. And Wilderness Wreck. Okay. That might just be the end of us. Marsh Flats. Pass the turn. We can't do anything. And they Mystical Teachings. Grab. What do they grab with Mystical Teaching? Blue Sun's Zenith. Alright, that represents a lot of card draw. I don't think we can come back from that. Because what they can do here is pass the turn, Blue Sun Zenith for 10 if they don't have a land, and 12 if they do. Which allows them to draw, 7 cards minimum? And with the fact that they're running so many counterspells, there's just no way we can respond to that. So we're just going to bring in a bunch of counterspells here. What do we cut, though? Heaven Gold Lich is nice because it gets around the removal. Ronos is bad, though, because it plays into the removal. Dimir Guild Mage is nice. It helps us come from behind. Biomancer is familiar. Grizzly Salvage. Abrupt Decay doesn't hit a whole lot, but I have a feeling we need to keep it in. Fatal Push we can pull. They don't have a lot of things to hit. Vidalcan Anatomist, we pull one. Let's actually pull both Vidalcan Anatomists and keep in a Fatal Push. I know that looks weird, but when they bring in a creature that we need to Fatal Push, well, I suppose we can Fatal Push an Ice Fang Quaddle at instant speed. That has value. And Vidalcan Anatomist doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, that was a nice back crack. That felt nice. We become a lot more controlling after sideboarding with our 3 Mystical Disputes and 4 other counterspells. So we should be a little bit better matched. It'll become a little bit more of a mirror match, really. I would love to play first, please, and thank you. Biomancer's familiar that we can't cast. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We will absolutely keep this, though. This is a dream hand, even. We'll put a redundant Drown in the Lock to the bottom. Play Polluted Delta, crack it. Life total doesn't matter, so we're going to grab a Watery Grave, untapped, and play the Training Grounds. Then F6, pass turn. They play a Snow-Covered Island and an Astrolabe. Alrighty then, well, we need to Marsh Flats and Overgrown Tomb. That much is easy. The question is, what are we casting off that? I suppose we should cast Biomancer's Familiar so that we can activate Dimir Guildmage next turn. So there's a Biomancer's Familiar. Pass. And we'll pass through their turn. They play a Breeding Pool tapped. So they are not representing they Fatal Push off their island again. I hate that. Because it doesn't look like they have black mana. That's okay though. So we will play an island. And let's see. Play a Dimir Guildmage. Off the mana we have, yep. I know game. I know I should declare casting Dimir Guildmage first, because it makes that easier and it works better as far as bluffing goes, but it's just habit. I will pass the turn. We might end up just drawing off this Guildmage in order to try and find a land, or they can Fatal Push it, that's fine too. Mystical Dispute, we like to see that. Let's see, we can cast this Tasigur for 2 and leave up Mystical Dispute. I think that's what we have to do here. I don't like pulling the Biomancer's Familiar out of the graveyard because it makes it so that we can't grab it later, but we need to continuously pressure our opponent, and just sitting back with counter spells is the opposite of pressuring our opponent. Wait, we do not want to, yeah, we don't want to have yields on, because I need to be able to counter spell things. Our opponent, they decide to Cryptic Command. We're going to counter that. That's an easy decision. And they pass. Alright, we have a Marsh Flats. We'll play that and get in with Tasigur. So we can hold up Tasigur activation, potentially getting back this Mystical Dispute, and have hold up Drown in the Loch. So we're doing pretty decent here. They're going to pass to the end step, it looks like. In which case we'll activate Tasigur. Opponent. They might have accidentally passed through the first main phase as well. I suppose it doesn't just happen to me. Let's see. Tap like that, holding up the blue from the Watery Grave. Oh, undo. Sorry, I meant green. There we go. Mill 2, opponent pick 1. Let's see what we mill. Ooh, easy Mystical Dispute. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and crack this Marsh Flats. Grab. I guess we grab Overgrown Tomb to grab a second green. Yep. Activate. Draw another card, hopefully. Disallow. Wow, lots of counterspells. Do you have a removal spell for Tasigur now that I'm tapped out, opponent? Nope. Awesome. That was your opportunity, opponent. Now it's just counterspell city. Hitting a bunch of lands off Tasigur is actually kind of nice because it allows us to get whatever's in our graveyard. So now we're doing real good. Our opponent goes down to 12 here, and we will pass the turn. They're going to Mystical Teachings. I will Mystical Dispute that. And pass turn. Let's see what they're going to do here. Growth Spiral. That resolves. That's fine. And they pass. Alright, well, we're going to activate Tassiger again. Off green mana. Let's see what we get. They can pick a Disallow or a Mystical Dispute. Either way, we get a counterspell. Sounds good to me. They drown in the lock. Yep, okay. Destroy target creature. Yep. I kind of figured that would eventually happen, but that's okay. And that is a fortuitous draw, I dare say. We will pass the turn, holding up counterspell mana. They pass the turn back to us. We get to activate Pack Rat. Discarding, I suppose we discard a Disallow, since it's our hardest to cast. Yep, and we untap. Another Pack Rat, I like that. Well, let's just move to combat. Attack with all creatures. See what our opponent does. Ice Fang, Coatl. I think I just let that go. Because it dies. It doesn't have first strike, so... Even though it kills one of my Pack Rats, it does die. And it lets me keep up counterspell mana for more important things. And I will pass the turn here. Are they going to try and kill the Pack Rat? Growth Spiral. Alright. Once again missing a land drop. They have missed a land drop off every single one of their Growth Spirals so far. They Abrupt Decay my Training Grounds. Yeah, I have to counter that. Let's actually disallow it. Because we're very rarely going to get an opportunity. Oh, fuck. Right. RDFC. Yep. I need to remember to read things. Alright, they're going to Snapcaster. For Fatal Push, I imagine, but I'm going to wait for them to target Pack Rat. Oh yeah, because I didn't... Fuck. I fucked up. I screwed up. I didn't fuck up. I screwed up. Sorry. Shh. Didn't say that. Yep, that dies. Okay. Drowned Catacombs. I'm just dumb, but it's okay. Because we actually don't even get that big of a punishment for it. Because we get to Biomancer's Familiar, which is another training ground. And then we get to Pack Rat again. And pass the turn. I don't want to discard this Drown in the Lock if I don't have to, but I may have to. They play a Polluted Delta. And I'll let them get in for 2. Looks like they might have a board wipe, but nope. They just wanted to get in for 2. Alright, well, let's move to combat. Attack. My clock is faster than your clock, opponent. I will go ahead and discard this Duskwatch Recruiter. Make another Pack Rat. Get in for 4. Get you down to 6. Looks like they're going to consume the meek. I've never seen this card before. Destroy each creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. They can't be regenerated. Yeah, that gets countered. Okay. Opponent goes down to 6. But our shields are down. Our shields are officially down. Nothing we can do if they have another board wipe. They astrolabe, not a board wipe. But it is a redraw. They're really thinking about drawing a card here. Okay. And moves to combat. Attacks with Snapcaster. Looks like they have another board wipe. We go down to 7. Because if they don't have a board wipe, we have lethal here. So it looks like they have a board wipe. Yeah. Going to Cryptic. Okay. Cryptic Fog us. That's fine. We get an opt. Well, we will pass the turn. We can make another pack rat at instant speed. Or we can opt. They play a land and move to combat. In response, we're going to go ahead and nope, cancel. I'm going to activate this, discard that. There we go. Make a 3/3. Block. They snap Fatal Push. Kill one of my tapped pack rats, I imagine. Oh, snap board wipe. Alright. Take some damage to their fetch lands, which I'm not unhappy about. They don't have to. Oh, they have Astrolabe. Astrolabe keeps screwing me up. So they're putting Cryptic Command on top. Yep. They consume the meek. Board wipe us and them. And we draw Mystical Dispute. That's not a threat. Unfortunately, that is not a threat. Yeah, so see what our opponent has here. We're going to hold up Cryptic no matter what they do. So they return a land to their hand, gain 6 life. Unfortunate. Play the land that they return to their hand. We would like something we can cast. Watery Grave. We cannot cast that. By definition, you cannot cast lands. So we will pass the turn. Pass through their turn. Let's not. Let's make sure that we can respond to things, I suppose. If we do win here, we're going to come into game 3 with very little time on the clock. Pass through. Send signals that we're stocking up to our opponent. Because they know that we have counter spells. Mystical Teachings. I will let that resolve. They grab Blue Sun's Zenith. Well, if they max out a Blue Sun's Zenith, I will happily Mystic Dispute it. Duskwatch Recruiter. I think we just have to run that out into the counterspell. That we know they have. They have a Cryptic at least. Cryptic Draw. Yep, I'll let that happen. Because we have to hold this Mystical Dispute back for the Blue Sun Zenith. If we don't, then we're just done. They snap. Don't know what they get back here. Pulse of Marasa. Gain back another 6 life. Oh no. Yeah, I think we've lost this. Yep. Get back another Snapcaster. So that they can snap Cryptic. I think this is just over. Yep. Tasigur. Alright, Tasigur. Try to hit the non-creatures, just in case we can resolve our 5-drop later on. Whatever it is called. They Cryptic, and they still have mana to snap Cryptic. Yeah, we're just done here. Let's make sure that they have full blue mana, because they might be out of blue sources to fetch with their polluted delta. They have another. They just had a counterspell. All right. Yep. That's game. Okay. That was a sweet control deck, actually. I'm kind of psyched by my opponent's control deck. I want to play this. Let me look at what they've got here. They've got Abrupt Decays, they've got Cryptic, Snaps, Growth Spirals, Ice Fang Quaddles. Yeah, I like my opponent's deck. They're a little greedy on their mana base. It feels like they might be leaning too heavy on basic islands. As we saw in game 1, where they just nearly ran out of colored mana. It might have been greedy in game 1 for us to Abrupt Decay their bauble, but I felt like it was necessary. Alright, we won the die roll, so we will go first. Good luck to our opponent, Baruch. We only have 3 lands, but both of our blue sources come in tapped. I think we have to keep this. I think we keep this. We'll lead on a tapped Overgrown Tomb and pass. See what our opponent wants to do. They also play an Overgrown Tomb. Untapped, though. Good for them. And they Inquisition us. I would take the Opt if I were them. There's a lot of scary things in my hand, but Opt is really what is important here. From my hand, you could not tell what this deck does. This deck is weird just based on what's in here. Because Vidalcan Anatomist is not a card that most people see. They take the Ronos, which I get, but is not the right thing to take here. They should absolutely take the Opt. Because I'm relying on this Opt to hit me Biomancer's Familiar or Training Grounds. So I'm going to pass to the opponent. We will Opt on their end step. They might have another discard spell. If they have another discard spell, that'd be unfortunate for us. I don't know if we would Opt now or after the discard. Like before or after the discard. They play a Snow-Covered Forest. Tap for green Utopia Sprawl on, I guess, black, most likely. Yep. Alright, so the Golgari ramp in some way. Most likely... Okay, yeah, so most likely rock is what we're looking at. Golgari rock. That's not super scary for us, I don't think. We've got a lot of answers, both main board and sideboard for that, if we can just draw into them. Vidalcan Anatomist is actually one of them, but we need... Oh, pack rat. I love you, but not right now. Oh, god dang. I did put that on the bottom, right? I did put that on the bottom. Okay. Ooh, Fatal Push. I like that. Okay, so in that case, we will... Nope. Oh, god damn it. Undo. In that case, we're going to... I didn't mean to hit that. And then it lagged, so I got so hopeful that it wouldn't. Okay. Well, we'll lead on that then. Let them get one draw off the Dark Confidant. This is actually better, probably. Because Fatal Push hits a lot of the things in their deck. Tarmogoyf, that Vidalcan Anatomist doesn't. Snow-Covered Mountain, so they're Jund, actually. I haven't seen Jund play Dark Confidant in a while. Just because Bob is so much worse than Wrenn and 6 for the same mana cost, practically. Wrenn and 6 is just... It is the best Bob, and I've said this before, but with Bob, you only ever want to hit lands because they cost 0 life. But with Wrenn and 6, you only ever hit lands, so it's just so much better. Alright, they are going to move into combat. Attack me for 2. We go down to 18. Alrighty then, so we draw Marsh Flats. I think we once again... Oh, I'm sorry. I think we once again want to Vidalcan Anatomist, actually. But we will play the Marsh Flats first, in case they have a response at instant speed. Because that way we can still Fatal Push the Dark Confidant or the Tarmogoyf or anything along those lines. They draw a Bloodstained Mire. They're getting really lucky off the Dark Confidant, gotta say. That Bob there. I prefer this Bob art to the other one too. The other art doesn't really like fit the name Dark Confidant. It just looks like a guy. This guy's like, oh, this kind of looks like a chick. This chick is just like very, they're playing both Dark Confidant and Wrenn and 6. I wonder how many Bob copies they're playing. Because both of these are Bob. Both of these. They're going to get back a Verdant Catacombs. Might use too big for these. Hurts a little bit. There we go. Alright, so they play a Scooze. I think I just immediately Fatal Push that, right? I think we just want to immediately get rid of the Scooze. Pay 1 life. Grab a Swamp and bolt the Scooze. Because Scooze gets out of control real quick and it gains them life, so it's... They pass. Alright, well we get to Watery Grave. Untapped. A little bit of lag once again. That's unfortunate. Green, black. Play Pack Rat. We're going to kill this Dark Confidant before they can draw it again with it. There we go. Yeah. Yes, I want to kill the Dark Confidant. And we will pass turn. Don't want them to draw any more if I can help it. They concede. They just concede to the pack rat? Or are they just drawing really dead? I guess they're just drawing really dead. They concede the match. What? It's a win. A win's a win. I'm sorry. I know that's not fair. But the world isn't fair, and I want that as a win. they just concede the match. That's fine. Okay. That's interesting. I do think we have a good matchup against Jund, but I don't think we have a concede game 1 matchup against Jund. So I think there was something else going on there. Well, we have a new game here up against Doof. Good luck to my opponent, Doof. Doof and Smirts. Evil Incorporated. How do you incorporate evil? We've got a keepable hand, yeah. Hopefully this opt finds us training grounds. We'll F6 through our opponent's turn. We have no turn 0 actions. Soulscar Mage. Okay, well this is a real slow hand for this, but I guess we can Fatal Push a Soulscar Mage, so that's something. They play another Mountain and Manamorphose. We don't have them commit as much to this Soulscar Mage as they can. Lava Spike our face. Alright. Go down to 17. Light up the stage. Draw 2 more. Yeah, that happens. Wild Slash Swift Spear. Okay. We're just going to crack this now. We can't really afford to shock, can we? We can get a swamp here. We'll have Hinterland Harbor. Yeah, we'll have good mana. We've got plenty of good mana here. Hinterland Harbor coming in tapped is the problem. We're okay. We'll grab a swamp. It's worth it to preserve a life total. Alrighty then, so let's play a Woodland Cemetery and get out a Pack Rat. Pass the turn. Vidalcan Anatomist is good. It slows down our opponent some. They do get a Swift Spear and a Wild Slash this turn. Manamorphose again. Oh no. Are they Wild Slashing? Yep, they're Wild Slashing Pack Rat, which is unfortunate. It saves us 2 life, but it does make it so we have no real way to deal with things. Hopefully we draw a untapped blue source here. They have another Wild Slash, which goes at our face, and we're down to 10 already on turn 3. Untap. Training Grounds is not an untapped blue source, contrary to popular belief. We will just pass. Oh yeah, this is real slow for what our opponent's doing. Gonna just pass through our opponent's turn. Hopefully they're out of action. They crack the Fiery Islet and they don't find anything. So they are out of action, which is great for us. Oh, no, they still have a Lightning Bolt. I speak too soon. And a Burst Lightning. Crap. Okay, so we're down to 2. Which just feels great. You know, it just feels great. We are going to get at this Training Ground since we drew the Abrupt Decay. Play Woodland Cemetery. F6. We're dead to a Lightning Bolt is where we're at right now. Which our opponent has plenty of. Gonna move to combat. Attack. We are gonna kill that. And that's lethal. Yep. Okay, on to game 2. Okay, on to game 2 already. Drown in the Locks come in. Cries come in. What comes out? Grizzly Salvage is slow. Havengold Lich is slow. I guess we put in a disallow as well and submit it back like that. We haven't gotten to use Havengold Lich once so far, and I feel really bad about it, but I think Havengold Lich has a lot of value in this deck as the top of our curve, because we can just cast a bunch of things from a graveyard. I would love to play first. And they effectively have haste, because Havengold Lich takes their abilities, and we will mulligan that first hand, and let's see, we've got a removal spell, a counter spell. We are playing first. I guess we keep this. Yeah, I guess we keep this. We'll lead on the marsh. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Nopity, nope, nope. Forgot that I had to put something on the bottom there. Alright, so we'll lead on the marsh flats. Pass through. On their instep, we'll crack marsh flats, grab... I guess we grab a blue... I guess we grab water graves here. Tapped. Just to make it so that we can cast a disallow here in the future. Play the island. Pass the turn. Hold up Drown in the Lock to kill Soulscar Mage, because I think that's what we have to be doing right now. They play a Mountain. Swift Spear. And Swift Spear. Oh god. Alright, so we can't actually counter or kill anything. Feels good. We go down to 16 here. This is about the worst hand against what our opponent's doing, and that's just a basic forest. That is just a basic forest. Well, at least now we have disallow up, I guess, on the bright side. Yeah, we're so dead. They Manamorphose, okay. Well, at least now we can Drown in the Lock their Soulscar. We should have countered that, but they still have mana, and it's only draw 1. I don't know. Hard to say. They draw another off the Crash Through. They're moving to combat. Well, I will drown the Soulscar Mage. Take 6. Take my beats. Oh no, is that a lightning bolt? It's a burst lightning, pretty much the same. So that's 8, 10, go down to 6. Oh god. Oh no, go down to 6. Untap. Ooh, so close. So close. Okay, well, one more blue mana, man. One more blue mana. I guess we get out Training Grounds while we can. Alright, one more black mana, I mean. Get out Biomancer's Familiar as a blocker. Pass turn. This is the first time our mana base has really betrayed us. Cry of the Carnarium is in here specifically against mono red prowess, and it's betrayed us. Our mana base. We have so much black mana, having double black should not be a problem. We will absolutely chump block. Yep, they burst lightning, killing our Biomancer's Familiar. They have one more spell, and it's game. They apparently don't, but they didn't even crack their Fiery Eyelet to find out, so, you know. Who knows. Okay, Black Source. Oh my god. That is the most painful Black Source. But we have to do it because we don't have any other outs. So we have to crack this polluted delta for a swamp. Cry. Literally cry. Literally cry. Exile the Swiss Spears. Pass turn. They need to have 1 point of damage, which they can find off their fire islet, I imagine. Crash through for no value. Just a cantrip. I'm surprised they didn't crack their islet on my instep. Light up the stage, full price. Wild Slash, Shrine of Burning Rage. Let me read this card. Whenever you cast red spell, oh god. Okay. Overgrown Tomb. Okay. Well, we will play that tapped. Pass turn, holding up Disallow for that Wild Slash, which is lethal. Oh god. We're dead. I mean, we're just drawing it out at this point. Yep. We're going to counter that. I don't think so, opponent. I don't think so. And then Bedlam Reveler. Okay. Technically not lethal. It will find something that's lethal. Yep. That's lethal. Okay. 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 Yeah, no, that was a thing. That was a thing. How do I feel after that? Besides the fact that I just got absolutely run over by aggro, I feel great. I actually really loved this deck. I think this deck is super fun, and I will definitely be playing this in the future. My god, did I enjoy this. Just being able to play some janky pile cards like Vidalcan Anatomist and then be effective at what they're trying to do at least felt awesome. I never got out Havengul Lich, and I am upset about that. I love Havengul Lich. I wish it were legendary so I could play it as a commander for something, because I think it's just such a fun card. But yeah, that was great. I loved it. We went 2-3, as you can tell, but you know, I'm not even upset. I'm not even upset. I love it. I had so much fun. That's all I really care about. And for the price on MTGO, at least for the price on MTGO, I mean, it's really cool, and it's not repetitive. I like that too. Like every time that I played it, every game, I felt like I was playing a different deck. I felt like my strategy was different every time. Sometimes I was just relying on one pack rat to get me all the way. Sometimes I was chaining together Dimir Guildmage discard to Vidalcan Anatomist kill a thing to Ronos pump things. I never really did do that specifically, but you know, into a Tassiger, drawing counter spells off my Tassiger so I can deal with my control opponent, assuming I don't try to counter an uncounterable spell. Yeah, no, I think this was great. I think, honestly, we probably could have gone 3-2 if I wasn't an idiot. If I had been able to play against that Sultai control player a little better, not try to counter the Abrupt Decay, then I would have had mana open to counter the spell I actually had to counter, and I would have done a lot better. Overall, I love it. I can't sing this deck's praises enough. It's great. Yeah. As far as if you wanted to play this in paper, first off, don't play this in paper. It's just not worth it. It's too expensive. But you can pull out the fetch lands for other cards. There are other lands that can go in those slots. Because it's so cheap on MTGO, I figured I'd just get the lands. And I know Marsh Flats is a lot Marsh Flats is the cheapest fetch land on MTGO, but it's like middle of the pack for paper. I'm sure there's a better black fetch that you could run in paper instead of Marsh Flats. Overall, I think this deck is super fun, and if anyone ever wants to try it out on MTGO, I do recommend it. Okay, thank you so much, and have a great day.